This episode is brought to you by Shopify. Do you have a point of sale system you can trust, or is it a real POS? You need Shopify for retail. From accepting payments to managing inventory, Shopify POS has everything you need to sell in person. Go to shopify.com/system, all lowercase, to take your retail business to the next level today. That's shopify.com/system.
Looking for a great non-alcoholic beer?
Yeah.
Try Athletic Brewing Co.
One that actually
tastes great? It's athletic.
Or that has a
variety of styles? It's athletic.
Or
that's award-winning and seemingly everywhere? It's athletic. Just ask for it.
Okay. Can I get an athletic?
Sure can. The rest of you, go to askforathletic.com and find the #1 non-alcoholic beer brand in the U.S. at a retailer today. Near Beer.
When it comes to towing, seeing is believing. That's why Chevy Truck's advanced camera technology offers up to 8 available cameras for 14 unique views, so you can focus on the view that really matters. Chevrolet, together let's drive. Learn more about Chevy Trucks at Chevy.com. Safety or driver assistance features are no substitute for the driver's responsibility to operate the vehicle in a safe manner. Read the vehicle owner's manual for important feature limitations and information.
Good things come in threes, like my 3-row SUV.
Mom, Coach says 3
It gets my 3 kids to 3 sports in 3 different parts of town.
Mom, my new cleats are so
Luckily,
awesome.
I fill up with Synergy Supreme Plus premium gas from Exxon and Mobil stations. It keeps my engine 3 times cleaner for better gas mileage.
Mom, can we get ice cream after practice?
Because as soon as this season's over, the next one begins.
Find a station at Exxon.com. Synergy Supreme Plus gas compared to Synergy regular gas and port fuel injected engines. Benefits based on continuous use and may vary.
Welcome to the Eagles Checkdown, right here on the Eagles Pin Pull Network. I'm your host, Phil Stiefel, and you can find me on all social media platforms at Beard and Knowledge, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, you name it. That's where I'm at. On the first episode yesterday, thank you to everybody tuning in first and foremost. We talked a lot about the offense and Jalen Hurts. I want to flip to the other side of the ball and talk a little bit about the defense today. And I want to talk about, first and foremost, Quinyon Mitchell, and a very interesting question it brings up. Obviously, week 1 in Brazil, Quinyon Mitchell started on the outside because Isaiah Rodgers was injured. And Quinyon Mitchell, even though he was a rookie, performed extremely, extremely well, especially considering he spent the majority of training camp and majority of practices and preseason games playing in the slot. Now, Quinyon Mitchell not only played well, he played exceptionally well. He played 94% of the snaps. Jordan Love targeting him had a 66.9 quarterback rating. He broke up 2 passes, including in the end zone for that 1 touchdown. Nick Sirianni complimented him on many occasions throughout his press conference on Monday, talking about the moment not being too big for the rookie, how physical he plays. He never panics. He's got great eye discipline. He competes every play. And that he's comfortable with him in any position on the field because nothing phases him. Now, the question is, what do you do with him if Isaiah Rodgers comes back? Now, Avonte Maddox played terribly in the slot. He actually played 90% of the snaps as the slot receiver or slot cornerback. And Jordan Love targeting him had a 116.7 quarterback rating. You can't put Avonte Maddox out there. Now, some of it's not his fault. A part of it, Avonte Maddox did train the entire training camp as a safety. So he hadn't played it since last season. He is coming off an injury. But Quinyon Mitchell handled himself like a seasoned pro. Quinyon Mitchell, I fired everybody up on social media by talking about that Quinyon Mitchell might actually be the best cornerback on the Eagles roster, and that is not a knock on Darius Slay. It's just a straight fact. He played well. I mean, going up against A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith in training camp every single day in the 1-on-1s and the 7-on-7s has just prepared Quinyon Mitchell for these moments. So what do you do when Isaiah Rodgers comes back, if he comes back? And we'll know more after the practice on Wednesday what the injury report looks like and whether Isaiah Rodgers is on track to even play. But if he is on track to play, what do you do with Quinyon Mitchell? To me, you leave him outside. He is one of your 2 best cornerbacks, him and Darius Slay. You put your 2 best players out there on the field every single play. That's just what you should do. There is the other narrative that maybe you should let him follow around the best, the biggest, whoever it is on the opposing team. You're going up against the Atlanta Falcons. You'll have Kyle Pitts, who's a glorified wide receiver, even though he's listed as a tight end. If he's lining up in the slot, then Quinyon Mitchell lines up in the slot. If the best player's on the outside, you line them up outside. That's what I would do with Quinyon Mitchell and Isaiah Rodgers. I'd kind of piggyback it based off of the matchup because Quinyon Mitchell needs to be out there on the field every single play. Almost 94% is almost not enough. I know he got hurt. I think he got dinged up and was out for a few of those plays. So that's what I would do. Avonte Maddox needs to not be on the field. I'd almost, if Isaiah Rodgers can't go, I'd almost rather throw Cooper DeJean out there and just throw him to the Wolves than letting Avonte Maddox get another run at slot corner. That's the first defensive thing that I want to bring up. Second thing I want to bring up on the defense, a little bit more questionable questions and comments, and that's the defensive tackle position. We obviously lost Fletcher Cox at the end of the season last year, who played 684 snaps for this defense. He retired, all-time great. Now, in Friday's matchup against the Green Bay Packers, Jalen Carter led defensive tackles playing 51 snaps, 76% of them. Jordan Davis was on the field for 52%, which is actually pretty high for him. Milton Williams, 42% of the snaps, and Moro Ojomo at 21% of the snaps. Moro Ojomo is actually the second most efficient pass rusher out of our defensive tackles, getting a pressure on 2 of the 11 passing downs that he actually played. Jalen Carter definitely looked like he kind of slowed down a little bit as the game went on. So something's got to give with Vic Fangio. Somebody's got to change something on the rotation, or the Eagles are going to have to look at potentially bringing in another defensive tackle to play. Because next week when we go up against the Atlanta Falcons, Bijan Robinson's going to be running the ball. You're going to need guys in there that can stop the run. Josh Jacobs for the Packers went 16-84, averaged over 5 yards a carry. Hell, the entire Packers team averaged 7.8 yards a carry on the ground. The defense, the run stopping is something that we really need to improve on. And I personally have no answer on what that solution is yet. You can't expect Zach Bond to have 15 tackles and 2 sacks every single game. So the question is, what should the Eagles do at defensive tackle moving forward? First and foremost, in my opinion, with what is on the roster right now, you've got to go with more Moro Ojomo. 14 snaps is just not enough. Heck, I would say Milton Williams, 28 snaps is not good enough either. You also, again, you got to try to balance out Jalen Carter so he's not gassed by the end of the game. It'll be very interesting to see. Maybe Thomas Booker gets a few more snaps than he did. Maybe even slide Brandon Graham. I don't know what you do there, but something has to give there because you can't be giving up 163 ground yards every single game. Now, Trending in the AM, that's my morning show. You can find it. I have it linked below. You can find it and check it. On Wednesday, I will have Martin Frank of the Delaware News Journal on as a guest. We'll get a lot of information on Wednesday afternoon, first practice. We'll see the first injury report. We will talk about that on tomorrow's episode of Eagles Checkdown. So make sure you're following along. This is going to be the fastest 10 minutes or less Eagles podcast you can listen to on the way into work, when you're drinking your morning coffee, whatever it may be. Find me at Bearded Knowledge. Find Trending in the AM on YouTube or linked below, guys. I appreciate your time. Go Birds, and bubbles up to you.
This episode is brought to you by Shopify. Do you have a point of sale system you can trust, or is it a real POS? You need Shopify for retail. From accepting payments to managing inventory, Shopify POS has everything you need to sell in person. Go to shopify.com/system, all lowercase, to take your retail business to the next level today. That's shopify.com/system.
With supply chains becoming more complex, you need to stay on top of the latest logistics developments. So if you work with logistics, you need the Beyond the Box podcast from Maersk. It's the easy way to keep up to date with everything from digital disruption in logistics to the need for supply chain resilience in today's market. Find out more and keep ahead of the game with the Beyond the Box podcast on logistics insights at maersk.com/insights.
Ask your doctor about Air Supra, albuterol budesonide. Eligible patients can pay as little as $0 per inhaler, subject to eligibility rules and maximum savings limits. Restrictions may apply. Visit airsuprasavings.com to learn more.
Ryan Reynolds here for, I guess, my 100th Mint commercial. No, don't. I mean, honestly, when I started this, I thought I only have to do like 4 of these. I mean, it's unlimited premium wireless for $15 a month. How are there still people paying 2 or 3 times that much? I'm sorry, I shouldn't be victim blaming here. Give it a try at mintmobile.com/save. Whenever you're ready.
$45 upfront payment equivalent to $15 per month. New customers on first 3-month plan only. Taxes and fees extra. Speed slower above 40 gigabytes. See details.